Got to be a little sibling rivalry there. First pitch swinging, and it's past Jackson Willits. A one-out single for Luke Lawrence. Just a solid offensive threat in that two-hole.
And that's what happens when you struggle with your command. You know that as a pitcher, he's going to use his fastball, especially when he throws 98 miles an hour. And so that can give you a little bit of an edge as a hitter. First pitch.
Muddler behind the dish, who typically catches for Malachi Witherspoon. 0-2 for Hage. Lawrence is off, popped up right side. Drew Dickerson getting his first start of the series. Late charge to it, is able to make the catch, and Lawrence retreats to first.
We tried a couple times with the hit and run, couldn't work, and not every ball gets out of right field.
One of the team leaders, fan favorites as well. Malachi Witherspoon cannot get that outside edge at 89, so it's 1-0. Outfield defense has been a little suspect through the series for Oklahoma. Had a misplay in right field where Christensen checked up. Ball bounced over his head, led to extra bases. Jason Walk was also stuck in no man's land on that. Led off the first two games of this series with a rip knock to right field. Switch hitter, so batting from the right side of this one. As OU has had to reshuffle the lineup a little bit for a couple of reasons.
And he just makes things happen early. And, of course, we all know if you get on base with nobody out as a leadoff hitter, it makes all the difference. Of course, he gets burnt right there. Good sequence by Ben Cleaver. He sped him up, and his thought process with the second pitch inside, got the swing and miss on the curveball. Now he's making Walk sit back and wait on the off speed and then burns him with the fastball. We told you his fastball is accurate, Ben Cleaver.
Transfer from Salt Lake City Community College. And Skip Johnson has done a tremendous job in this new era of the transfer portal and NIL, still staying with those JUCO roots. He was a legendary JUCO head coach before moving on to the D1 ranks. So too here.
Got to think that way, then all the off-speed works for Ben Cleaver, which he's trying to set up.
That's chop foul. Well, Mike Rooney had the call for Kentucky last week, and our buddy against Mississippi State. He made the statement that Ben Cleaver is a Friday arm.
Well, I think mainly because of his consistency. That's what I was thinking. You know, he's pitched in the sixth inning, last 6 starts. Just we don't know what the zone is yet. The umpire's still settling in, and inevitably you give up 2 runs, and that was part of that whole process. But he has thrown some really nice inside pitches, fastballs to right-hand hitters.
Take something off this to the other side of the plate. 2 strikeouts for Ben Cleaver. That's how you get it started as Kentucky looking for the sweep against OU. And he admitted, yes, he was thinking about it a little bit.
Had a kid that almost hit for the cycle. We had a slash bunt. We had regular sacrifices bunts. Ground balls to the right side, move them over. Some damage. I don't know, 6 strikeouts maybe out of the, 27 outs. But hit the ball over the ballpark, didn't have much to show for it. And that's what you go through, both as an offense and as a team. And it averages out. That's why they call it a batting average. And so, you just stay with it. That's what this game is.
Only hitting .224 in this series. Kentucky just at .232. Swinging through it is Dickerson. And Cleaver dealing. Allowed that single, but it's now 4 strikeouts, 2 in each frame for the Slim Reaper, Ben Cleaver. The lefty with the blow. So it's been well thought of for a while now in this game. 3-1 swinging, popped up. Jason Walk going back. Walk. He's down 0-2. Three for 3 a day ago. Missed the cycle by a home run. Oh, over his head. Hansen will come across. Skip Johnson, one of the best in the business. 8 seasons at Oklahoma, took them to the championship series. Ended up losing back in 2022, but a high point for OU baseball. And they will be back, projected 2 seed, coming in to this series against Kentucky. They have been in the conversation to host. Losing this series, especially a sweep, but certainly that's off Malachi. And Peltier reaches. Single
Fourth option at third base after the injuries.
Yeah.
Herrera's been out. Yeah, he lost some guys in the fall, but he's done a great job over there. Only 2 errors since he's been over there.
And has given them a physical presence. We saw that collision between him and Kyson Witherspoon. So Nick Mingione has been the 2-time SEC and National Coach of the Year last season and season number 1 here in Lexington. And this is not one of those seasons that will garner that award, but you need to tip the cap for the job that he has done with this program, considering everything they lost coming into the year and what they've lost throughout the course of the year.
That really is an incredible stat. I mean, he's the 2-time national coach of the year. The first, be a good teammate. And if you're not playing, you need to be a good teammate by handing gloves. And, you know, like with Devin Burks, they do like a pit crew with the catching gear. Like Devin doesn't lift a finger, and they got 4 or 5 guys like putting his catching gear on before he goes out there. And they do all these little things to make it fun, you know, within the dugout. And he's created this atmosphere that you see today.
And 2 teams that play the game the way it should be played. Oh, practice, those uniforms are hung nicely from the top rail of the dugout. Drew Dickerson will try to make an impact here and give the Sooners the lead. Dickerson. Here comes pitch 62 from Ben Cleaver. Strike him out. 1 down. Well, number 7, Arkansas, and third-ranked LSU finish up their 3-game series.
Look at their RPI and their rankings, so there's a lot going on in determining who's going to get in.
The chopper. Gargett looks at the runner, fires back to first. That's a tough play because Willis can motor down the line. OU gets 2, Kentucky gets out of that jam, and we're tied up at 2.
They grab some lunch, sit out in the sun, and watch baseball. The competition is as good as it gets. You know, to roll through a single elimination tournament like that to win it all, man.
There's Cole Hage, his second base knock of the series, first of the game. Some of the storylines we're tracking.
No, he didn't. Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
This is going to be another one of those situations where do they have enough to overturn the call on the field? We didn't think there was enough to overturn the call on the field of the sac fly RBI by OU yesterday on the SEC Replay Center. Yeah, they found enough.
Yeah.
That's going to be a walk. Second issued by Malachi Witherspoon.
Certain things that lets the team know that you're getting after it.
Witherspoon had Ryan Schwartz down 0-2 an inning ago. Schwartz came all the way back to draw the walk, and this is a missile to center field. It's down. McCoy was breaking on the play. He will be held up at third base, but an absolute rocket off the bat of Patrick Carrera. The down, ball 1. Now, it really is a dynamic performance, or getting nailed what he's seeing compared to what you are. This one is grounded to Gargett.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times in baseball, even as a player, but especially as a coach, you want people, you know, human beings to be robots, and you're just not. You know, you've got emotions, you've got certain other things, but also what he's talking about is baseball is this roller coaster ride where everybody's going to struggle and everybody's going to have these little glimmers to go somewhere else.
That curveball from Ben Cleaver has been a scary sight for OU hitters today. And this one is popped up to right field. Ryan Schwartz fighting the sun and puts the mid on it. A 7-pitch inning for Ben Cleaver. That allows you to go deeper in games.
I mean, much easier.
Now, when you made the catch, did you act cool, like I got this, or was there a smile or a smirk?
No,
afterwards?
Everybody was laughing, so it must have looked pretty silly. And it was Craig Counsell that hit the ball. And you got the wind and you got the spin of the baseball, and all of a sudden, you know, those outfield spots that seem fairly simple, or first base that feels, you know,
ailments. And everybody's working through and down on strikes. Back-to-back for James hit and a 1-2-3 inning with a Sooner out of the bullpen.
Around and there's nobody in a spot, you know, it's got to make him a little aggravated.
And it's not like pitchers hit their spot every time.
Correct, and that's assuming, that's exactly right. That's assuming they're going to hit a spot, and you know,
just 7 strikeouts for the Slim Reaper.
Another example of an elevated fastball that works right above the letters at 89, 90 miles an hour, and lefty on lefty matchup. Scott Mudler had a base hit his last time up, just not able to catch up. Moving, and that's why they've led the league in hit by pitches the last 3 years.
That's number 134 on the season. Had 4 of those a day ago. Gargett shows bunt. Now that's something ankle of Malachi. Gargett is not a dude, though, that I want to be in a collision with down the line.
There's a few of them. Cole Hage. Whew. Yeah, you don't want to see him in a dark alley when he's mad.
Because all these guys for Kentucky, they're big dudes that don't look like they should be able to run, and they can all run.
Kind of like generally the case.
And is a man that can do some damage coming into the series. 16 extra base hits in SEC play. That was 5th best in the conference and 2 off the lead. A double machine, 11 of those in SEC play. Down 0-1. Oh, this ball is crushed.
You're seeing more and more of these high-level players come to college.
And let's be real with it. The NIL era has changed a lot of that dynamic. So before, I would imagine a big part of the decision was, am I going to give up the money that I may never see again? You come to college now, especially in the SEC, there will be opportunities when you smoke baseballs like that. Luke Lawrence, get all of it. 6 since the start of yesterday's game. And it's unraveling here for Malachi Witherspoon in the 4th. There is no activity in the OU bullpen. Looking to get some length out of this from Malachi Witherspoon.
You can imagine a scenario where you come up at the plate, you strike out in a big spot, and then you got to go out on the mound. Just the mental aspect of it is the most difficult thing, I think, to being a two-way player. We saw Jack Caglione struggle at times on the mound with that same deal.
Delay steal, Hage off the bag, back on, and he's in safely. Another way that Kentucky.
Left side.
This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat from Malachi Witherspoon to James McCoy. Hitting in the 4th spot for the Kentucky Wildcats, looking for the series sweep. Kentucky has not swept in the SEC this season. Team all SEC.
Talent, but apparently not.
I would say that's a pretty big number. Eye-catching in this day and age.
Yeah. It's hard to do. You're spending half the time in the cage on both sides, you know.
And Walk has his 3rd hit. All singles in this series against Kentucky.
You want it, huh? Yeah.
Full count, 2 outs. Walk is off, and that's outside, so Carmichael draws the walk. His 2nd time on base, was also hit in the 4th. And now this is a big moment because you have one of your top hitters that's starting to get it going in Starkville last weekend. It's in there for a strike. But despite those struggles last weekend at Mississippi State, all positivity from Coach Mingione, telling us that he loves his team, has so much.
Heroes yesterday was Ryan Schwartz. Today, James McCoy on base 4 times in a row. The double back in the 1st, 2 walks, and now a base hit. James McCoy, have a day.
Fantastic defense at first base to go along with that. Bringing up Patrick Carrera with one out here in the bottom of the 7th. Rookie team will. So after the offensive timeout, it's just a straight up smash to the right side. 1 run scores. Montoya booking from first. He's held up at third. And Carson Hansen gets it done. What do you want to do? Well, coach, I want to drive in somebody.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Carson, what do you feel comfortable doing? Well, I'll just hit a base hit to the right side and get the run in. So now they're
another run for insurance for the Wildcats.
Now the Cats building a big inning here in the bottom of the 7th.
Right side, but Branch makes the play. Kentucky adds. They get 2 more on a frenetic inning on the bases for the Wildcats. 7-2, they lead the Sooners. Welcome back to in there for a strike.
And it just wasn't even close.
Really, anytime OU has had momentum in this game, Kentucky has found a way to take it from them quickly. And in many instances, this is a series about OU hurting themselves.
Yeah, and when we've talked to Skip Johnson over the weekend, he's used that word a lot. Yeah, 2 in a row from LSU in Baton Rouge. That series is always determined by who's got the home field. Last year, LSU went up to Fayetteville and got swept. 2 years ago, this series was in Baton Rouge. LSU had won 2 of 3. And so when we talked about home field advantage and hosting regionals or supers, that's what a difference it makes, because Arkansas is a really good team, and they're getting beat up in Baton Rouge this weekend. Crooks does the deal where he's closed off before he starts, and so those little things when you're looking out there as the hitter make a difference and start making you predetermine what you're going to do. So when he's closed off that much, it makes it hard for me as a left-handed hitter to believe he can come across and throw it inside to me. So I immediately start looking out over the zone, looking to go to left field, but Crooks can do it. On base, got hit back in the 4th. And up by 5 with 2 outs. Kentucky rolls it over to their cleanup hitter, James McCoy.
James McCoy's been impressive to watch. It's not like the numbers absolutely blow you away, but just to see a guy that's selfless, hear his coach talk about him playing all the outfield positions.
Of Hensel.
Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did, 0-2. Cole Henschel trying to keep Dawson Willis hitless in the series. He's 0 for 9.
Moving into the postseason after next week.
Oklahoma entered as a projected 2 seed in the conversation to host a regional. A sweep will certainly hurt those chances, not necessarily put them to rest, but it will be a long shot for Oklahoma. Still firmly in the tournament field. For Kentucky, playing just to